avoid this idea of saying that this is my turf, this is my jurisdiction, I'm not supposed to report to any other agency within the airport. As a result, the charter creates one center of accountability, and that center of accountability is led by the KA. So that then we have principally said you have reporting channels for the police, for the immigration, for tourism, for KFEs, for plant health. Everybody reports to different ministries. But under this charter, we are now saying, yes, you may have the other reporting mechanism, but in terms of running the airport and the customer experience at the airport, you have to report to one center, and there is a board that is chaired by the MD of Kenya Airports Authority.
We need to do it in a way that is humane, so that the customers understand that their respect has been maintained, not the way we've done it in sometimes opening as the customers pass by and so on and so forth. So the various targets, performance targets, as you will see, like I said in that charter. Thank you. Let's start with one boy's question, which is basically the budgetary commitments. You did hear us talk to a cabinet commitment in customer experience at Jkia. You've seen us, not the first time, this is the third time we are sitting here. We basically are working on housekeeping issues, and we're saying everybody does their part as a one team, and basically collect that information through the management board on monthly basis initially, and eventually quarterly. And we really want to have visibility in the areas which needs improvement. So when you retire from here to look at the service charter, you'll actually see performance indicators for every service level delivery in every area that is measurable. And therefore, when we meet to basically collect this report, will be, if the ranking is a 5 and you are doing a 3, we'll be seeking to understand what support we need. If it's a monetary support, we'll provide the budget accordingly, because this is, we are a revenue airport. We make money. Where we need to provide facilitation in terms of budget, we'll be able to do so, to ensure that we do improve the customer experience, improve, like Rebecca says, the customer inflows into our country, and be able to significantly improve the revenues. I think budgets talk to expenditure side and the revenue side. And so when you talk about expenditure, depending on how we are able to quadruple our revenues, the expenses should not be a significant issue. But more importantly, what are we able to do to improve our economy? I think when we really look at this, maybe because we have not shared what we've signed today and we'll be sharing, you will appreciate that it has been worked on. We did do a charter for the Kenya Ports Authority sometimes back, but you know, here we are dealing with people. At the port we are dealing with containers, and people are very sensitive. When you open a bag for a customer and they feel a bit like it should have been more done discreetly, and you are doing it in the open, those are the things we are talking about. Because if those machines we saw do identify the need to really get the bag from a machine scanning to a physical interpretation of what is in that bag, we need to do it in a way that is humane, so that the customers understand that their respect has been maintained, not the way we've done it in sometimes opening as the customers pass by and so on and so forth. So the various targets, performance targets, as you will see, like I said in that charter, have been defined for KAA, for ICAO, for rather Kenya Civil Aviation, for the plant, KFEs, if there are plants which have been stuck into that bag, do they meet, are they transporting what may cause us a problem in terms of spread of a certain plant, we're an agricultural economy and so on and so forth. So security items that may hamper the security and compromise, or even whether there are harmful substances that are not allowed in our country. So we will be working very closely together, like I said, one airport that delivers a service seamlessly without getting to know I'm dealing with a police officer, I'm dealing with a CAFIS officer, I'm dealing with a border control officer. When you go up at the border control terminals today, where we saw 8 terminals, today all of them are open at peak hours, and we are monitoring to basically ensure that if the time allowable to clear every customer is 30 seconds, we'll be doing random sampling to make sure that we meet those targets and ensure that we do deliver what is best for this country and improve customer experience, improve the business of the tourism, because we are a tourist destination, and even setting up Nairobi as a financial center. You need to come in seamlessly and go out seamlessly, very quickly, and so on and so forth.
Because I know this question had been asked before, now it's being asked again. You need to understand that the charter is meant to play with silo mentality. It is the same people under the same budget that they have being asked to work together as a team and avoid this idea of saying that this is my turf, this is my jurisdiction, I'm not supposed to report to any other agency within the airport. As a result, the charter creates one center of accountability, and that center of accountability is led by the KA. So that then we have principally said you have reporting channels for the police, for the immigration, for tourism, for KFIs, for plant health. Everybody reports to different ministries. But under this charter, we are now saying, yes, you may have the other reporting mechanism, but in terms of running the airport and the customer experience at the airport, you have to report to one center, and there is a board that is chaired by the MD of Kenya Airports Authority. Meaning, therefore, that it is not, we are not creating a new budget. We are saying synergize your energies around the airport using the same budget to deliver results in a coordinated manner. If there is need to now improve any area within the airport, then that budget will be provided in due course. There is, to just answer your question straight, there is no extra money being put so that the charter can be done. It is the existing budgets in different agencies being implemented in a manner that is coordinated and avoids silo mentality.
The KA substantive MD is a work in progress. We did advertise, we closed, but we did have some legal, somebody went to court. So it's a work in progress. Thank you. The national aviation policy really seeks to grow our airport to meet the demands of the growth in the industry, as we seek to grow from the current number of clients coming into our country, be it tourism, be it business, from the current so many to 7 million capacity to the numbers that you have talked about as we look into 2030 and beyond. And you do know that our airport was built to take a maximum capacity that is outstripped today. And so I think the question now that you're really talking about is, how do we seek to build and improve the resources and the capacity of our airport to be able to accommodate those numbers that we seek to accommodate as we grow our tourism numbers into the numbers that Rebecca Miano talked about. And you know, the building of a new airport is alive, and we really need to up our game. We are working after the failure of the PIP framework to operate our airport and to build a new airport. We sit on an airport that got burnt in 2014, and part of our airport is really roofed on tents that you have witnessed occasional leaking when there are heavy rains and storms. And apart from the airport being stripped in capacity of number of passengers, and looking at the horizon on the numbers we need to be servicing in a short while, the building of a new airport is active, an active agenda at Cabinet. We are looking at policies on investments which can support themselves as a business, really being able to do more of PPP as opposed to building on a social capital on our balance sheet. The fiscal headroom that we have today to be able to support things that we need to support more in social, like education, like the health sector, and more of the areas where government needs to really pay more attention, cannot really compete with investments which can draw their own revenue, run their own balance sheet, and be able to service the kind of debt. So we are looking at airport today as a snippet of what did not quite work on airport going out on its balance sheet and taking a facility to develop a new airport, the way Kenyan borrows on its balance sheet. So we'll be looking at KAA on its balance sheet, working with various DFIs, be it EXIM or export credit, whether the export credit will come with conditions of concessioning. Airport should be able to leverage on its balance sheet to develop a new airport so that the airport is not competing with the social infrastructure investment that we need to do in education, in health, and in the various social areas like food security and supporting the various challenges that we face from time to time and which we sometimes support as, which we need to support as a government. So going forward, we are looking at a framework that Jkia can leverage on its balance sheet, invite cost-effective or the cost of money that is fairly competitive, that can return on investment in terms of the cost of capital, and develop for us a new airport. So in a short while, we'll be coming back through Cabinet to seek a framework, approve a framework that will allow Jkia to leverage on its balance sheet, work with various DFIs, and develop for us a new airport in the time frame that is conscious of what is happening in the region in terms of competitive advantage for Kenya comparing with other regions who have gone ahead of us and developed modern airports. We need to attract the numbers. We don't want visitors coming to Kenya to come through our neighboring as hubs. We really want to take that advantage and continue to have Nairobi as a hub. And so in terms of national aviation policy, we are conscious. We are working around the clock. We do know that the PIP could have faced a challenge. And even when we leverage on the balance sheet of Jkia to look at various DFIs with the cost of capital, return on capital, or return on equity, and so on and so forth, we will be looking at a competitive process, even as we get those DFIs to come in. I think, conscious of time, we'll be doing that very quickly so that the kind of numbers we are receiving in our airport today do have that kind of space to handle the kind of numbers that we seek to be handling in a short while and going forward.